War-torn Syria will hold its presidential election on Tuesday after 3 years of bloody conflict. Opposition fighters are vowing to disrupt the vote. RT's Finoshina reports.
The day of silence here in Syria ahead of the country's presidential elections, the first in the last 5 decades. On Tuesday, the Syrian authorities say over 1,500 polling stations will be opened in the capital Damascus alone, with thousands others and all across the country, so that Syrians choose their leader for the next 7 years. Those living abroad already cast their ballots. The vote was organized in the Syrian embassies in around 40 countries across the globe. We hear that many Syrian refugees also return home for the elections. We crossed into Syria through the Lebanese border and we saw unusually long lines of cars and many people streaming here ahead of the elections. And we also know that with the elections approaching, the crossing procedure was facilitated for the residents of this country. There has been a lot of criticism, of course, ahead of the vote. Millions of Syrians who fled the war-torn country will still not be able to participate in the vote, and some areas, despite the governmental forces' recent progress and success, still remain held by militant groups, which means people living in these areas will not be able either to make their choice. People say if there is a small chance that this vote may help bring peace and prosperity to this country, it is worth a try. Finoshina from Damascus in Syria.
Now, here are the main candidates for the top job. Well, President Bashar al-Assad is facing opponents for the first time since coming to power in 2000. And then there's Maher al-Hajar, an independent MP and former member of the Communist Party. He focused his campaign on fighting terrorism, poverty, and unemployment. Finally, here's Hassan al-Nouri, a U.S.-educated Damascus businessman and former lawmaker. And he wants less state interference into the economy and vows to revive the middle class. Needless to say, all candidates want an end to the civil war, and that's ripping their nation apart.